of the things that's fun about having your logbook in the cloud is that it lets you share your memorable flights with other people, particularly your non-flying friends. MyFlightbook has had this functionality basically since the start, gosh, almost 14 years ago now. And I just made a few enhancements to this. And so I thought it might be a good idea to do a video to explain how to use this functionality and some of the privacy that's built in around it. So the first thing I'll show is that if you click on the route of flight for in your logbook, it takes you to a page that shows you a map of your flight and any pictures from the flight. And if you look up here, you'll notice that the URL, the address uh, for, for this page is a View Public Flight page. And it shows things like the date of the flight, the tail number, your name, the route of the flight, your comments, any images, and a map of the flight, any airports you landed at, and so forth. There's also, because I'm signed in here and this is my account, I get a little pencil here to edit the flight, and I get a little drop menu. And I'll come back to that drop menu in a little bit. So if I now take this web address, this URL, and switch over to a different browser where I'm not signed in to MyFlightbook, in other words, what it would be like if I was one of my friends receiving this link, and I look at it, you'll notice all of the information that identifies the flight, other than the route of flight, is gone. So there's just a map of that there was a flight between these particular airports. No date, no tail number, no path, no telemetry path, no images, none of that that can link this to you or your flight, so that it is completely private. And the reason for that is that in this case, for this flight, I haven't checked the little box when I edited the flight to allow others to view details of the flight. If I check that box, then it will make that information available. So let me switch over to a different flight. So here's a flight I did last week when I was on the East Coast. I got to actually land my Club's Mooney at the Logan Airport, which was a lot of fun. And so if I take this web address, URL, and let me go back over to Safari where I'm not signed in. So I'm emulating the recipient who's not a MyFlightbook user. And I put it in, and now I can actually see the details of that flight because it is a public flight. It is shared. You can see I've got the tail number, my name, all of that information is here. I can see pictures. You'll notice though that the pencil to edit the flight is no longer there, and the menu is no longer there because I'm not signed in to my account to view this flight. But I am looking at the MyFlightbook website when I do this. So suppose I want to customize that a little bit and just tailor it. I can do that. So let me switch back to my account on Firefox and go back to the drop menu here. First thing here in the drop menu, I'll just mention in passing, since this flight has telemetry data attached, I can download that telemetry data in KML format and view it in Google Earth or anything which lets me view a sequence of latitude, longitude coordinates. So that's just a fun thing I can do for quick access to the flight data. But here I've got a bunch of checkboxes that allow me to configure what is displayed on this page. So suppose all I wanted to do was share my pictures from the flight and maybe any videos. So I can now come up here, turn off flight details, and you'll notice that my name and the tail number and all of that stuff went away, as did things like the tabs, because now I'm saying I only want to show a subset, and so the tabs all go away for that. So I'm going to turn off the map as well, and now it's just pictures. It's got to load. There we go. And you'll notice if I look in the address bar now, it's the same address, but it says show airports, pictures, videos. That's now all turned off. Or sorry, only the pictures and videos are turned on. And so if I share this, go back over to Safari, then sure enough, all I see is the pictures. And so that can be great for things like sharing on Facebook or there we go, or on Twitter or something where all you want to do is share the pictures. Or what I could do if I wanted is do just the map. pictures. I don't have any linked videos in this one. And so now all I have here is the map, and I can further configure that if I want. I can turn on or off the path or the route of flight. And if I share that, and go back over in Safari here, then voila, it's just the map. And this can be kind of cool because you can embed these into other web pages if you want to. So for example, 10 years ago, I had the great pleasure of flying around Namibia. And so I did a web page where I described my flight, and I wanted to include for each day the pictures of the flights that I did that day, including images that I took there. And you can see I just put it in and it flows in very nicely. These are all done with iframes in HTML. If that doesn't mean anything to you, that's okay. But the point is that you can see how I've embedded a public flight into another page and used that menu to get rid of all of the stuff that frames the public flight. So I hope that that's a useful feature for you, and that you have a lot of fun sharing your flying experience with others.